My youngest son is 21 now. He was 19 when we were going through all this drama. And he came to me. I was being processed to serve on a particular board. It was a global thing. And all of these matters had to be dealt with because their due diligence threw up all the, you can buy the media, but you can't buy the truth. The truth will remain the truth. And God is a God of truth. So when the global CEO called me and asked me a few questions, I laughed, answered everything. He said, okay, the board set up a subcommittee to deal with some of this and we'll report back to the board at the next board meeting. 3 months. I said, no problem. I was angry in my spirit. The Bible says we should be angry, but do not sin. I went back to God. I said, Lord, I lived my life never to have to answer any question. But you will sometimes. I want you to know that. You will. Because, you see, we cannot triumph except we fight battles. You do not win anything if there isn't a fight. And then my son, my youngest son, came to me. He saw that I was upset. He said, Mommy, don't worry. I want you to know that this will work for you and not against you. I said, because sometimes the Lord will speak to you through the mouths of babes and sucklings. He came to me and said, Mommy, these people think they know you. But by the time they finish this process, they will really know you. And when they really know you, it will work for your good. I said, this is a boy I have to wake up really hard to go to church in the morning. But in that moment, he was the priest. I said, okay, thank you. And 3 months after, on the 8th of December of that same year, the same Oyinbo man that called me before called me back and said, Ibuku, the board met yesterday and we decided, the board decided that you should go on with your assignment. After they had done their global work, they came back to bow at the feet of my father. But that was not the real testimony, because 7 months after, the global chairman of that board asked for a meeting, and we had this conference call, Sir somebody, and he said to me, Ibuku, I'm sorry, but we have two asks. I said, okay. And he said, one, on our global board, we have 3 openings, and everybody agreed they want you to be to take one of the seats. I said, He said, yes. He said, it's a country-by-country vote. He said, but don't worry. I said, but me, I don't know anybody to be calling in which countries. He said, don't worry about that. We'll take care of it. And they did. 7 months after, I joined that board and have been on it. And at that same sitting, when he made the request, he said, and we're setting up this new board for this, and we would like you to serve on this board as well. I hope you don't mind that we're asking for 2 things in one sitting. I smiled. I understood what God was doing. And I said, no, not to worry. But he then asked me one question. He said, tell me something. I know you're a woman of faith, but tell me, what's responsible for your value system? I smiled. The same way you're a woman of faith worked for me, and my value system worked positively for me, could have worked against me. If in my appearance of being a woman of faith, in the in-depth search, something else was revealed, it would have been more destructive than positive. My brothers and my sisters, we're in the Lord's army. We have an assignment. There's a lot to do.